how to teach your kids how to skip count by tens. Hey there, I'm Charlotte with Colorful Teaching for You. Thank you so much for joining me. Teaching your kids to skip count by tens is a huge milestone because it teaches them about how to have about some number sense, like developing their ability to count, to recognize numbers, to go for multiplication, division, and just so much more. Okay. Now, when they first start, they're going to be focused on rote memorization, but we're going to add some fun, some real-life application. We're also going to add some visualizations in there so that it's not just forced on them. I know some parents are against rote memorization, but there's a time and a place for it, and if we're not forcing it on our kids and we're adding some excitement to it and we're practicing it on a daily basis, I think it's okay, right? Just to start with, and then we build on it as we go by. If you're not okay with it, that's okay, but if you are, let's get going. The first one is do some cardio. We're going to have some fun here. So find some steps that you can go up and down, and we're going to start with the base is 0. We start with 0, and then the first step is 10, then it's 20, and then it's 30, and so forth. But for young ones, I only ever go up to 20, and when they're ready, we keep moving up 30, 40, 50. So I go 0, 10, 20. Then we go down 0, 10, 20, 0, 10, 20, 0, 10, 20 until they're ready, and we add 30 and 40. Now, to make it more fun, because it's exciting to just belt it out, that's what we do. We belt out the numbers louder and louder because that's how we retain it. We're adding our voice, and we're also adding our movement to this. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2 is play a game. So it depends on what your child is interested in. Mine loves balls, like he likes to play with, those big bouncy balls, and my son also likes cars. So I used these bouncy balls because it's so much fun, where you just take that big bouncy one and you just throw it again, either in the center and it bounces to the person, or you can just pass it back and forth. And what we do is I throw it and I say 0, and he throws it back at me and says 10, 20, 30, 40. That's what we keep on doing, and it's just a lot more exciting that way. So we're playing a game with it. You could pass a car back and forth. You could I don't know, count count the hairbrushes if your child likes to brush the hair or something. Whatever it is your child's interested in, 0, 10, 20, it doesn't really matter. But the point is to practice saying it out loud and to add another action to it in the form of a game. Okay? Number 3 is engage with visuals. So here, if you have access, if you're especially in a classroom and you have access to those tens cubes, then I want you to be able to teach your kids, this is what tens looks like. Tens, 20s, 30s, and you're going to actually show it to them visually. Now for very young children, like 3 and 4-year-old kids, this might not be the best approach. For my very young one, I like to use, he has lots of little cars, so we just count those by tens. Okay, so you could take anything and count it by tens. It doesn't have to be the same object. It could also be pencils, pencil crayons. When I'm in my classroom, I use anything that's on hand. It could be pencils, pencil crayons, markers, anything. And we count. So that's how you skip count, by using objects, so that they can visually see what 10 looks like, what 20. If we add another 10 to it, this is 20. If we add another 10 to that, it's 30. This is what it looks like. Okay. Number 4 is look at the chart. So this is could be used for young and older kids. You can find a lot of free 100s charts online if you Google it. And I want you to teach them, this is what the number 0, 10, 20, 30, 40 looks like. This is how we see it on a number chart, because it helps them also visualize and look at the numbers at the same time. Okay. Now this might be tricky for very young ones, but you can try it and see if it works. But it does work really well for grade 1 and 2s. Okay. So and for older kids. If you have any questions, please feel free to message me. Let's recap really quickly. We have looked at the importance of teaching our children how to skip count by tens, and we've looked at 4 different ways to do that. Number 1 is do some cardio. Number 2 is play a game. Number 3 is engage with visuals. And number 4 is look at the chart. If you have any questions, again, feel free to message me. In the meantime, remember to create, experience, and teach from the heart. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care, my friends.